And good Thursday morning. Wow is all I can say if you're just joining us now of the activities that have been going on since I think this has been happening since 4 a.m. this morning. And we'll get more into this with the morning show when we get it. Did I get that collar straight this morning? I may have messed it up. We began this morning with a car chase. Mississippi Highway Patrol went to attempt to stop an 18-wheeler. Well, he didn't want to stop, so he takes an exit in Morton. He was headed west toward Jackson. After he gets off, he decides, well, I think I'll just turn back around and go toward Newton County. Well, Jody Pennington and his guys were waiting. He still didn't stop. The truck was spiked, and eventually there were no tires left on the 18-wheeler as it neared Lauderdale County and took the exit there to prison. Now, we had our mainmost man on the job. Rob was on there live following the car chase in it. And here's a view from the side. I wanted to show this. We just got this in. Let me pull this up. This was as it came into Meridian. Let me play this for you. Notice no tires. And MPD bringing up the rear on that as it passed the truck stop there. And again, we'll give you more details of this coming up at the top of the hour of what we know as everything develops. The person is in custody. We have no idea why he wanted to run so bad. What was in that truck? That is the next question. I would think that the cargo had something to do with it. You never know with people. Sometimes they're just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a Georgia pine sometimes. They're real up there, if you know what I'm hinting at. We don't know if they're under the influence of anything at this point, but we don't know that a humongous, that's probably the biggest one I've seen in quite some time. Wow. Through the back roads it did go. More to come as we track all this, and we'll have that for you. I may have to fix the church if I got the wrong episode, and we'll do that on the fly here if it's the wrong one.
Children are one of God's greatest gifts to us. Now, my wife and I, we've been blessed with 5, and look, it's not easy.
Proverbs 22:2 told of the common ground that all people, rich and poor, share. The Lord is maker of them all. Proverbs 22:7 talks about one of the greatest differences in the rich and poor. It says, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. We could see simply through observation that the rich tend to have more authority and decision-making power than do those who are poor. Though the rich ruling over the poor may be naturally true in almost every society, it doesn't mean that oppressing the poor through regulations and laws that may serve to limit their role in society is just. It's just wrong for those in power to keep those who are not from participating in decision-making and governing. One way to curb or prevent this is to limit the amount of borrowing that we do. It is estimated that American households carry an average of $8,500 in credit card debt alone. The average interest rate for credit cards is nearly 23%. This can cause an endless cycle of debt and lack of financial freedom. Borrowing can limit families and individuals from providing even necessities for their families. Instead of having a level of financial freedom, it can keep the borrower enslaved to those who lend them money. It actually makes little sense in a country that values freedom as much as we do in the United States. Freedom from excessive debt is one of the greatest freedoms we can ever have. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Wow, great message there. And again, I was a little off. And I finally figured out my collar. It was early 3 hours ago when I was trying to get dressed. I hope your morning is going well for you. We're sitting now, it's somewhere around 52 as we wait for a warmer day, as we've seen these temperatures rising up to about 87. We've got your full forecast coming up in a few moments that we'll detail you on to let you know what's going on. Have you ever joked with someone and you go, next time I do that, slap me? You ever said something like that? Well, this lady, apparently you shouldn't say that to. She had a friend that said, hey, if I do that again, just shoot me. She did it. She killed him. He was joking, and she shot him. Wow. Cincinnati, Ohio is where that happened. I'll never tell a joke in Cincinnati ever again in my life. Taught me a lesson. I think we all should learn from that. We do see that an Arizona teen is going to be indicted as he faced a grand jury in Arizona. He had planned to attack a pride festival, some form of a parade. Apparently, they found enough evidence that the grand jury is going to move forward with prosecution on this. And that will end up being most likely a hate crime. The search has been suspended this morning for a passenger who fell overboard from a Caribbean cruise. It was a Taylor Swift theme on the ship. Fell off the boat. They've quit looking. Odie getting ready to go on a trip next week. I hope he has fun there. Never done it. So many of you love those things. Maybe one day I'll try one. I'll get brave enough, scared as I am. Now, I would think most of America has heard this today. It is one of the most horrifying things that I can imagine. This would happen in a Walmart. Canada is where it happened. And I would assume that today they're changing, or yesterday they made all of these changes. A huge oven in the kitchen. She was 19 years old. And again, this part is rumored, but we know that she did enter it. The talk is that you had to enter it to clean it with it on. She goes in and the door closed. We won't go into any further details in that. There's no need to, but she lost her life in that. God have mercy on her soul. I'm sure that Walmart is totally changing things today worldwide. I didn't even know they had ovens that big. Cardi B has been hospitalized and will miss her performance in Atlanta at the music festival. No word yet that what caused the sickness there. We'll try to get more about that. You know how this is with superstars and why they're entered. But she's a big star. I think most people know who she is. As they unsolved murders, we got another one that they were working on that they think they may have found in Chicago dating back to 1979. DNA never goes away, does it? Hopefully they'll catch the guy. A grizzly bear, he's famed from the Yosemite, from the Yellowstone, I almost said Yosemite, from Yellowstone area. The bear, he was killed in a Wyoming accident. Car bumped him. He's been famous. He's took a lot of pictures. That happened over last week. I always do this. I've got a metal detector, and I play a little bit. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. How about you? You ever done it? You find a few things. You find mostly junk. Occasionally someone finds it, and this happened. This was in the UK. They found a stash of coins. It is went up for auction. What they dug up? $5 million. Wow, that's what the coins were worth. Can you imagine? Now, I've heard the story of somebody in America that found I guess you could call it a pot of gold. It was on their land, and they stumbled upon it out for a walk. It was worth millions also. My, oh, my, oh, my. The treasure hunting aspect is fun, and I can't remember the guy's name that buried that treasure and wrote a book about it and gave the clues, and people were searching for it. It's always fun. Treasure maps are fun. I like those. A Kentucky state senator has passed away. I don't know if y'all remember us talking about this. He somehow or another fell off into a swimming pool that was empty on a riding lawnmower. He was hurt bad. He has now died from his injuries. Oh, we hate that. That's Senator Johnny Turner is his name. He died Tuesday afternoon. That's just bad. Hate for that to happen to anyone there. We are we 11 days away? We're either 12 or 12 days now. 12 days away from the election. And let me tell you, there is absolutely no poll that you look at that is going to be accurate. Every 10 minutes, there's a new leader and a news agency claiming to have the new leader. We don't know. As we've seen so many times in the past of these, if it's too close to count, and then a few minutes later somebody comes out and goes, oh, we got a new leader. I can't tell you what to believe. Know that it's in 2 weeks, 12 days, a little less than 2 weeks. Vote. Be educated when you go in. What's in your pocketbook? How do you feel about that? Most Americans always vote that way. and has since I was a kid. We'll see what becomes of all of this in the future there. Not long to wait, is it? We're going to have to get some popcorn for that night. Odie does this. I'm not. We have dive teams in Lauderdale County. I'm not a diver. A lot of you love to go treasure hunt, do things like that. We see where a female diver was sucked through an Antarctic iceberg, had a current underwater, and sucked her in. Careful where you go. Have somebody with you. I don't know if they could save you. I don't know enough about underwater diving, but that's scary. This is probably a good thing, and then we'll go on to the weather. I'll leave you with this story. We often see how newspapers sometimes jump out and they endorse candidates either for president, for Senate. I've always been under the impression that regardless, that the people that watch you choose their vote. Because you have people on both sides. There is no reason to make anyone mad. Choose the candidate that best suits you. LA Times editor has quit. She has resigned her post. She had planned on taking the newspaper endorsing Kamala Harris. The owner steps in and goes, "No, we're not." She took a stand. She is resigned. Again, if y'all remember in Meridian a few years ago, the Meridian Star took a stance and they backed Hillary Clinton. Do y'all remember that? It was one cancellation after another. I don't think it ever recovered from that of people that stopped taking the paper. But I do remember that. And it just opens up a can of worms for people because you feel like you shouldn't be given that. Just choose your own choice. But that's what happened to LA Times. She has quit because she wanted to do that. We'll be right back as this morning travels along. We got your weather next.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
Accidents happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see the professionals at Chet's Paint and Body. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop. Welcome back. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we take a trip back in time for those record highs and lows, it was 1939. Gone with the Wind was being released at the theaters. Wow, that's been a long time. 89 on this day, a little warmer than today. Again, today's high set at 87. We go back to 1917. It was cold back then. It will be even longer ago. 30 degrees was the record low that was set on this date, 17. Here's what we're expecting today, 87, and it'll be that way all the way north. Look at Greenwood, a tad warmer there at 89, all the way down the river to Natchez, 86. Even Hattiesburg still sitting at 87. As we go east to see our friends in Bama, let's just see what it is there. 87 also, almost identical to Mississippi. As we go into Gadsden, Alabama, we'll see 85. A tad. That's not really worth changing, is it? 85, 87, you won't know the difference. Montgomery seeing 88 for their high. This is why we're so high. Look at this. The deep south is ate up with a heat wave this time of year. It's cooler out west, but it's going to take a spell for it to reach us. As we go into our 7-day forecast, we see this. Today, 87. Tomorrow, identical to today. Over the weekend, not much changes there. 86 on Saturday. We're going to stay in the 50s at night. As we get into Sunday, we're about 80, a tad cooler. The low 80s for the first part of the week there. And we start seeing our first, and let me say, smidging. Can I use that word? Smidging chance of rain becomes in on Wednesday at a 10% chance. I don't know who those 10% people will be, but it's very, very little chances there. We look all the way to Halloween. It looks like 84 for that day, 17% chance of rain. I think the kids will be okay on that. As we look to the 1st of November, as we get ready for Veterans Day, 84, not far off, is it? Our biggest chance of rain will fall on November the 5th. Tuesday there, 33% chance. Now, we got some 20% chances there, but Tuesday, the 5th, being our biggest chance of getting rain. Let's keep some fingers crossed because we need it. We don't need any fires, and we need all of this stuff to calm down, a little of the wet stuff for the animals and grass. We know we need it. What's the best times to fish today? We go see our friends at J&J Auto Sales out on 19. They tell us our major time this morning begins at 7. 6:57. It'll take it till about 9 o'clock. Now, you'll get another chance of great fishing after dark if you want to sit there because 7:30, it's about dark 30. A small chance this afternoon around 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Wind's going to be calm, becoming southeast around 5 miles an hour. Now, as we look at our deer hunting, let's see what our friends have to offer us here from Wimberley Taxidermy. It looks like a perfect time today is going to be 1:47 this afternoon to bow hunt until about 4 o'clock. Ease in, ease out. Good luck to you there. You can stay till dark. Day rating is good today. Sunrise at 7:02 a.m. today. Sunset will come at 6:16. Gives you a chance of just how long you've got to sit in the woods, and good luck to everybody that does that. I hope you have great luck. As we look at what's going on, this should be winding down. This goes the hurricane season to November 1st. There is talk about something forming maybe a little bit after that. We'll watch it, but there's nothing going to happen for the next 7 days as we look at that. Hopefully hurricanes are over. The season ends on November the 1st. Let's go to take a look at radar now and see what's going on with radar this morning as we scan across. Let me go back here and pull this up. We don't see anything happening in the state of Mississippi as we go to Honda Meridian radar. Look at that. Now, it's a lot of fog this morning from Beaumont, Texas into Louisiana, Lufkin, Texas, those areas as we follow the coast of Louisiana and Texas right along in there. Bay City, Victoria, even out to Beeville, Texas, we got a lot of fog there also. Be careful there. As we go over into Alabama, we'll see that northeast of Tuscaloosa, a little bit of fog there popping up on radar, and around Anniston, a little south of there. You got to get into Georgia and into the Carolinas, again to Knoxville. Those areas, thick and more thick fog as you travel about the U.S. of A. No rain in those areas, though. Shirley, how are you doing? So good to see you up and at us. Jimbo joins us there. Let's see here. We've got Barbara joining us. So many of you. So glad to see y'all. Again, as we begin this day, we're sitting at about 52 right now. We're going to watch our high climb to about 87 is our forecast. And let me refresh just to double check ourselves. We're down to 51. Woo! It's nice outside. We'll give you all the details. We're coming back live in just a few moments as we'll get ready for the morning show. We're coming back live in about 5 or 6 minutes. Look to see you then. Please join us. It's going to be a great show, and we would love to have you a part of what we do. It all begins at 7 o'clock. Join us. We'll see you then here at the Scotty Ray Report.